G'day everyone, it's Justin and
Scott.
a couple of dads again from BRRRRRM Australia, and we're coming to you today from the 2019 Hyundai i30 N-Line. Now mate, I thought I'd bring down this new model from Hyundai in the i30 range. It's called the N-Line.
Yes.
The N-Line actually replaces the old SR model, which was the sportiest sort of, everyday i30.
Yes.
Below the N Performance, which we both love, don't we? That's a great car, that thing, the N Performance.
Oh, absolutely. We love that car.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about today trying the one that's just down from that.
Yeah. Because I thought we'd do it because I guess, we look at fun and family friendliness in cars, but not everybody can afford the top of the range sporty car. Also, to the N Performance is manual only. Where some people might prefer having a automatic gearbox or something like that to do more of the daily driving duties and things, right?
Yep.
So the N-Line, it replaces the SR model, but mechanically it's pretty much the same. It has the same drivetrain. It's got a 1.6 turbo 4-cylinder, 150 kilowatts at 6,000 RPM. 265 newton meters between 1500 to 4500 RPM. The N-Line comes in two models. There's the N-Line, the base N-Line, and that comes in 6-speed manual or 7-speed dual clutch. The one we're in today is the top of the range N-Line, which is the N-Line Premium, and that comes as a DCT gearbox only. Fuel consumption for the DCT, which I think is probably the more popular ones, 7.1 litres per 100 Ks. Pricing. Now, the pricing has gone up slightly from the old SR cars. The 6-speed manual N-Line, $26,490 list price, which is up about $500 more than the old manual SR. The 7-speed dual clutch of the base N-Line, $29,490 list price. The premium one that we're in today, $34,990, which is up about $1,000 or so on top of the range SR premium.
Okay.
Now the big differences, I guess, between the SR and the N-Line, the body kit. That's the first thing you see when you look at the car. It's very much in the mould of the N Performance, so it looks more aggressive. It looks like a baby N.
Yep.
Probably a good
I think
way
that's
of
what I
looking
was
at it.
excited about seeing today is what cues have come down from the N as this inherited, and there are a few, and I really like the ones they've chosen.
Yeah, and you sit on the inside as well, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. 18-inch wheels. They've upgraded the tyre spec on the car too. It's now coming with Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, whereas the previous SRs used to come with, I think, Kumhos and things like that. Korean tyres. Suspension has been sort of upgraded to be quite sporty, with an Australian sort of tune to it. I think we'll talk about that a little later as well.
I disagree on that.
And it still comes with the the snazzy red seat belts and things like that. Now, mate, we've both driven this car pretty much this week. Okay. I want to get your opinions on it. What do you think? How do you think it drives?
I had it for a few days. I think I mostly enjoyed driving it. I think. I mean, for me, it was okay to take into the city. Obviously, the size of the car is just really well suited for driving around the city. I took it out on some more open roads and really enjoyed having a bit more fun with it. I suppose. And it certainly does have that fun element. You throw it into sports mode, which I love, putting everything in sports mode straight away. And the thing stands up a bit more. It feels a bit more sporty. Did it fall short a little bit of maybe we were talking about the N version? I wasn't sure if it was sporty enough personally, but it's not bad.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's interesting. I've got to say I'm probably going to go the other direction because, I fully agree with you. The handling on this car, the steering especially, when you're in twisty roads and things like that, it's really good.
Couldn't be better. That's great. Yeah, yeah. It's 10 out of 10, I think, for this sort of car.
Yeah, I actually got to say, it might have been even better than the BMW we drove last time. That's a big call, I know.
Jeez.
But just in terms of the turn-in and everything like that, it just feels spot on.
Yep.
However, looking at this car from a family-friendly point of view, fun, definitely, yes. Family-friendly. So if you had to drive this car every day, and in Sydney, say if you had to go in the city commute every day, you're in slow bumper-to-bumper traffic, everything like that, I think it might be a bit too firm. I mean, look, it sounds bad coming from someone who enjoys their sporty cars and things like that, but if you're buying this car, I think as a daily driver, and you don't get to enjoy it on the open roads that much, big nice sweepers and things like that, you may find that the ride is a little firm because you do feel every bump in the thing. Also too, I've got to say, the dual clutch transmission in slow traffic, I didn't like it. It's almost like you're riding a clutch when you're driving, and that it can be a little bit jerky.
Yep.
But on an open road, don't get me wrong, I do.
I hear all those things you said, and I didn't notice them to be so much of an issue for me. So I suppose what we say out of that then is, if someone is looking at this car, drive the one below, drive the one above. Make sure when you've got a choice of packages, because they are different. They may be the same car, they may be i30, but each one is sort of targeted doing something different.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure that you're comfortable with the one that you're choosing. So it's very much, don't just drive the one you think you want on the price point or the features. Yeah. Try the one below or the one above.
Think about what's the main sort of driving that you're going to end up doing, and then tailor the car accordingly to that. Because I mean, look, if I think you mentioned the i30N performance sort of car is like a really good car, but it does have the adjustable suspension in it, so you can dull it down to a comfort mode and things like that. This car just feels like it's like in sport all the time, which, like I said, it can be a bit compromising if you're going over bumps all the time and things like that. Anyway,
so if you're test driving it, the way you'll use it 80% of the time. Yeah, absolutely. Right. For me, no point in me putting it in eco mode. When I test drive it, I'm going to put it in sports mode, because it's going to go in sports mode every time. Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, we beg to differ. There you go. Now, mate, one other thing that cropped up looking at this car and driving this car and having a look at the spec sheet, safety. Now, compared to the old SR model, there have been a few, I think, compromises in terms of what they've done with safety. Like, for example, the base manual on this car, right? You don't get the forward collision warning, you don't get the lane keep assist, you don't get the smart cruise control, the stop and go sort of thing. They've actually, in the dual clutch transmission versions as well, you do get that stuff, but they have left out what you had in the SR, which was the rear cross traffic alert, the blind spot monitoring as well. I don't know why. Like, price has gone up, they've taken a few things out. That for me is a bit of a negative in terms of the family friendliness, because safety is, I think, paramount.
Oh, absolutely. I think we say that. I mean, with all the distractions you have when you've got a family in the car, from conversations and things happening in the car, you want as much safety as possible. Yeah. The things that automate the alerts for you and all that, I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a shame, because as an overall package in terms of what you get the big nav screen, which has got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, it's touchscreen. You even get DAB in it. You've got a QI charger. In the premium too, like you get the cooling and heated seats, the big sunroof, the Infinity 7-speaker in the car, is that power driver's seat. So in terms of surprise and delight features, there's a lot in the car.
Yes.
Like, and even the base i30 inline, you still get a fair amount of that stuff as well. But safety, like, I don't think that's something you should compromise on, really.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah. In terms of family friendliness, mate, you had a sit in the back. What did you think?
Yeah, so I had to sit in the back in my driving position, which is always pretty much as far back as the seat can go, or close to. Mm-hmm. My legs just fitted inside, so in the back. So I suppose if you've got younger to middle-aged kids, the size in the back would be big enough. It's just as they get older, it'll start to get a little bit more compromised. I mean, we've got to remember the size of car we're reviewing, right? It's a small to medium-sized car. So it's not it for what it needs to do. I think the legroom was enough, but again, it's like depending what your purpose is of the role of the car.
Yeah.
Just need to consider that. Headroom, heaps, no problem.
Yeah. I think packaging-wise, the i30's always been a good car.
Yes,
that's
sell
true.
heaps of them, right? Because it is a well-targeted car.
Yeah, the
for a
boot
market.
space is pretty good for the thing as well. You know, you've got a 60-40 split in the back. You know, good room in the back. So family friendly just that way.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Yes,
It's good.
absolutely.
Now, mate, it comes with a 5-year unlimited K warranty. You do get what Hyundai call a lifetime service plan, so it's cap price servicing. I looked at it, like the main, like the first 10,000 K service is around about $260 odd or something like that, which is pretty good.
That's very good. Yeah.
And also too, I noticed that if you keep servicing it with a Hyundai dealer, you do get complimentary roadside assistance for 12 months every time you do it. So
okay.
that's good backup.
I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
So that's something new. Yep.
Yep. You do get a sat nav upgrade plan too for your sat nav, which is nice as well. So yeah, they do try and look after with the Hyundai. It's
Yeah,
pretty
they're
good.
all good things. Yeah, very good.
Now, mate, X Factor question.
Yeah, you haven't talked about the looks at all yet, mate. I've been waiting for this question.
Okay, go for it. What do you think? X Factor, is it something that you would look at your reflection when you're driving past, or when you park it, you turn your head back?
Yeah, I'm a bit harsh on the looks of most cars. This one I've really enjoyed, right? I really have enjoyed looking at it for a few days. There's a whole lot of design cues on the outside that I wasn't expecting, right? Even this morning, I didn't realise that the air intakes at the front run through to the front wheels, the brakes. That's off the end, so you know, like it's inherited some of those design cues. The dual exhaust at the back looks really good. There's lots of angles and yeah, it's a very nice looking car from the outside.
Yeah,
from my point of view.
I love how they've actually made it more aggressive than what the old SR used to be. The SR was very much like a standard looking sort of i30, but this thing, they've taken all those cues from the N Performance and put it on this thing, and it's paid off. It looks really cool, I reckon. So,
Yes, yeah.
You know, brighter colours and things like that.
I mean, this one's got the black roof as well, so you've got sort of dual colours,
the
which seems to
sunroof,
work really, really well.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
It's good. And even on the inside too. I mean, they've actually upped it a little bit with a few tweaks, like the steering wheel. You know, it's got the N badge on it and everything. It's a nice steering wheel. You know, the transmission here, it's got N on it and everything like that, which is quite nice. You got little red surrounds and some things. The red seat belts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bit of bling.
It shouts out,
Yes.
sporty, doesn't it?
It
Which
does.
is really cool. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's right. So, anyway, just want to put out a big thank you to our friends at Hyundai Australia for the loan of the i30 N-Line today. I think it's a good sort of addition to the range if you want something that's definitely fun and family friendly, and it's really good to see them actually building that N brand.
Yes.
And I think it's pretty good. Like I said, I'm a bit iffy about the safety features on it because they've omitted a couple of things on it. I don't know why, but look, best thing we can suggest is see if it fits what you need it to do. Have a drive. If you enjoy your driving, I think you'll really enjoy it, actually.
Yes. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.